Okay, we've got some breaking news coming in. The US Justice Department has just announced the seizure of a Russian flagged ship in the Atlantic, a ship named the MV Bella 1. For violations of US sanctions, the vessel was seized in the North Atlantic by US forces pursuant to a warrant issued by a US federal court after being tracked down by a United States Coast Guard vessel, USCGC Monroe. So a dramatic operation in the North Atlantic where a Russian oil tanker has been boarded and seized by US agencies after it violated certain protocols. Let's go across to NDTV's Aditya Raj Call for more on this. Aditya, what's going on? Where was this ship headed? What were the reasons for this happening?
Well, this was basically the Venezuelan oil, being carried by Bella 1. That was the name of this carrier. It was an oil tanker that was being shipped from Venezuela to Russia. Now, remember, Shiv, there has been a maritime blockade announced by the United States around Venezuela, and there is, of course, sanctions on Russia as well. So both of these have turned out to be a deadly cocktail for the dramatic chase that really happened over the last few days. Yesterday, the Russian state media had put out video saying that the US Coast Guard and the US forces were trying to approach, and they are trying to board this ship. And now we have a confirmation both from the US Justice Department and from the US European Command that the US Coast Guard cutter in fact has boarded this particular vessel, and this is the Bella 1. There is initially developments coming in that this had a Canadian flag, but later it was turned into a Russian flag. It was a Russian flagged ship that has in fact been taken over by the US forces. This certainly will not go down well with Russia and several other countries. Earlier in the day, both Moscow and Beijing had hit out at United States as Trump and saying that they were turning out to be global watchmen and policemen, and this is not expected from them.
And Aditya, we also know that China is the largest importer of Venezuelan oil. So if the United States is going to be picking up or stopping every vessel that's shipping Venezuelan oil to its customers, that's going to be a geopolitical boiling pot in the North Atlantic.
Oh, absolutely. Already we've seen very strong statements coming in from the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi and of course the spokesperson. Day in and day out, there have been very strong messages that have come out from Beijing, and now United States, quite frankly, trying to do whatever it can, not just in the North Atlantic, but the Greenland debate also that has been raging over the last few days. Many are certainly questioning that it was the United States that went around the globe talking about the international rules-based order, and now it is the United States that is violating the same. So a lot of shake-up that is happening in 2025. It was, of course, the tariffs, and this time around it's oil and rare earth. That is the big talking point, but we haven't seen the end of it, Shiv. It's perhaps the beginning that the US has done on the sea. Of course, our cameras are not out there. We are only relying on Russian state media and the American Justice Department for the visuals. But this is dramatic, and this could possibly have some reaction both from Moscow and Beijing in the next few hours.